Amazon is giving you clicks, but where are the Amazon sales? Listen, you're not alone, and I know exactly why this is happening because right now I have so many Amazon sellers reaching out to me, and time after time, I see the same hidden problem stopping their sales dead in their tracks. But the good news is, once you get this one thing right, your sales can take off like this and this and this. Because maybe you've done everything right. You've followed all the guru advice, but yet nothing is happening. All you're hearing is crickets. The problem isn't your product. It's not your ads. It's not even that your competition is better than you. The problem is that your listing isn't following the Wonderland plan. Now, don't worry if you haven't heard about this before. Most haven't, but the good news is you don't need to overhaul your product. You don't need to spend more on ads. You don't even need a miracle. The secret is to make your Amazon listing feel so engaging, so immersive, and so curiosity-driven that shoppers willingly keep going deeper and deeper until the only logical next step is clicking that add to cart button. But when sellers get this wrong, it could be the reason you're waking up to no new Amazon sales. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do it step by step. First stop, the entrance to Wonderland. Because the moment your shopper spots your Amazon listing, the clock starts ticking. In under 5 seconds, shoppers are deciding whether to stay and explore or escape. And look, when they get on your listing and see all these distractions trying to pull them away, your competitors' ads, those frequently bought together suggestions, Amazon's own product recommendations, all of these are designed to steal your traffic and hand it to your competitors. And Amazon, it tracks every bounce. Every shopper who clicks onto your listing but leaves without buying tells Amazon's algorithm one thing: your listing isn't worthy of ranking. And that means less traffic and fewer sales and a painful climb out of the dog pile. But when you nail these first 5 seconds, engagement goes up, trust builds instantly, and sales increase, all without spending one extra penny on ads. But the Wonderland plan actually starts even before a shopper reads a single word or makes a single click. And this is all about opening the looking glass, because your main image is the first glimpse that your shoppers have into Wonderland. And if it's bland, confusing, or looks like every other listing, shoppers will just scroll on by. So your product needs to pop against Amazon's bland, boring, all-white background. But how do you make that happen? You use contrast and color to make your product stand out. Get creative, add a unique prop, motion effect, or some eye-catching text on your packaging. Show the product in action so shoppers instantly see the benefit. So instead of a plain set of measuring spoons and cups, show the ingredients which inspire the desire, triggering the thought that looks beautiful, let's start baking. The goal is to make your main image so curiosity-driven, so visually intriguing, so different that shoppers can't help but click. But it doesn't stop there, because once they click in, the real work begins. Because imagine being invited to the Queen of Hearts royal banquet, only to find a menu that reads, "Food served on plates. Eat it." Not exactly the whimsical experience you were hoping for, right? And that's exactly what happens when your listing's images are generic product shots with no visual storytelling. You leave shoppers guessing about how your product fits into their lives. And when people have to guess, they hesitate. And when they hesitate, they leave. And that's what our e-com optimization heat map study showed us. That study of our clients' top earning listings showed just how critical your supporting images are to sales conversions. Look, this right here is where decisions are made. In fact, internal studies using e-com optimization client data shows that 63% of Amazon sales happen in the image stack. But most sellers waste this opportunity. For example, look at this. This second image is called your title image. It's where you reinforce the shopper's decision to click in. And that's why we need to make this image a confirmation image. Overlay a bold statement like the only FDA-registered dog motion sickness medicine, because heat maps show where shoppers' eyes go. And look, shoppers focus on the words in the image, even before reading bullets or descriptions. And also look at this. This is a heat map of the above the fold section of a listing. Look where shoppers' eyes go. They're drawn to the darker, high contrast images. So consider strategically using at least a few dark backgrounds in your image stack. They just pop against Amazon's layout and immediately draw attention. Oh, and show the product in action. That means if you're selling lifting chalk, don't just display the tub of chalk. Show it being used in the gym without the clouds of dust. Let the shopper visualize and live in the experience. Now, if you're not sure what works best, I've got you covered. My 103 Amazon image hacks will guide you and give you every proven strategy and tons of examples for designing images that sell. I'll link to the video of that in the description. You can just grab that plus all my other guides at once. It's absolutely free because when images create curiosity and desires, shoppers can't help but keep going deeper. But once they do, they're about to step in front of the magic mirror, which when you get this right has been proven to boost conversions by 10% on the low side. But before I show you that, if you're getting value from this video or just enjoying this wild ride through Wonderland, go ahead and tap that like button. It helps more sellers escape the madness of low conversions. And if you want more battle-tested Amazon strategies that are a little bit less boring and a lot more fun, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a trick or a tip or a tea party like this next one, because seeing is believing. Because in Wonderland, the mirror just doesn't reflect reality. It actually reveals what you want to see. And on Amazon, that's exactly what video does. Shoppers can doubt what they read, but when they see it with their own eyes, they believe it. That's why listings with video convert nearly 10% higher. Now let's talk about how to use this magic mirror effect to turn curiosity into trust and then turn trust into sales. Because when a shopper sees your product in action, they feel how it fits into their lives and they imagine owning it. And the decision becomes really easy. Big brands really know this. That's why they use video as the final confirmation tool. It pushes the hesitant shopper over the edge. But 90% of Amazon sellers get this all wrong. And they think they need a Hollywood budget. But really, simple videos can make all the difference. And there are 3 video styles that are working really well right now. The first one is the absolute easiest and the most powerful way to build trust, because when shoppers see the product being unboxed exactly as they'll receive it, there are no surprises, no doubts. They can picture opening the box themselves, which makes them feel safe about hitting the add to cart button. Then there's the transformation video. This isn't just about showing a product, it's about showing change. Whether it's frizzy hair turned sleek and shiny, or someone struggling with old school resistance band transformed to a cutting edge booty band that just snaps into place. This all taps into part of the brain that craves results. And when they can see that transformation, they want it for themselves. But this final video style is where your product goes from being a thing they want to a thing they need. When they see it in use in real world situations that fit their life, something clicks. They're no longer just looking at a product, they're imagining owning it. And that's when they buy. And look, your video doesn't have to be complex. Even a basic slideshow video with text overlays can increase conversions. In fact, that simple video helped lead to hockey stick growth. But if you want to double down on video's power, turn it into an Amazon video ad, which lets you take prime placement at lower cost per click while grabbing even more shoppers before they click onto your competitor's listing. However, once your shoppers see it and feel it and believe it, we have to deal with the storybook effect. And maybe this is why your order window looks grim. Because what most sellers don't realize is that shoppers don't buy details or fun facts or features. They buy because of how your Amazon marketing makes them feel. And your bullet points should never read like a spec sheet. They should feel like tiny, wonderful stories, pulling shoppers in, building anticipation, making them believe that this is exactly what I need. Let me show you the formula by taking a look at a basic bullet. Made of stainless steel for durability. That's technically correct, but it's emotionally empty. Now let's bring it to life. Say goodbye to cheap tongs. These extra long 24-inch stainless steel barbecue tongs are trusted by top pitmasters because they let you flip sizzling steaks without torched fingers or the smell of burned arm hair. See the difference? We've taken a boring feature and turned it into a solution to a problem and backed it up with real world credibility. Because when a shopper reads a bullet like that, they don't just see a pair of tongs. They see themselves grilling like a pro, but without the burned arm hair. And when they can see themselves using it without burned fingers, they're one step closer to buying. In fact, that USP took Randy's listing from stuck at 30,000 BSR, which is not good, to flying high at 832 BSR and landing his listing on page 1 in just 24 hours. But now that we've built up desire, there's one question still left in your shoppers' minds. Because this next trick isn't about numbers, it's about perception. And that's where the Mad Hatter's pricing trick comes in. Just like a Wonderland tea party where things aren't always what they seem, your pricing needs to create the illusion of a deal. Even when you're selling at a premium. Retail price, $49.99. Your price, $39.99. Sale price, $34.99. That $34.99, it feels like a steal. Not because the product is suddenly cheaper, but because it looks like a discount when compared against the higher prices. That's too basic. So let's take it even a step further, because language matters. Shoppers will actually pay more if they believe they're actually getting something special. So instead of saying high quality material, say premium hand finished design. Instead of saying good for professionals, say designed by pros for pros. Instead of saying made with organic ingredients, say exclusive formulas sourced from the finest organic farms. But if you really want to nail the premium pricing, make it crystal clear why yours is superior, more durable, easier to use. Use some of those tricks that we've already covered, like tossing an upscale social proof, trusted by restaurant, hotel, and resort owners. Resort owners. Whoa. Yep, that move took that listing that had plateaued sales and added a whopping $1.4 million in fresh top-line sales in under 6 months. Because when shoppers can see why your product is worth more, they stop thinking about price and start thinking about desire. Once they do that, the only thing left is the final push to the checkout. Because sure, your shoppers have made it this far. They've clicked in, scrolled through your images, read your bullets, watched your video, and then justified the price in their minds. But none of that matters if they don't take the final step. Because in Wonderland, the journey doesn't end at the Queen's table. It ends when you've claimed the prize. And on Amazon, that prize is a sale. When your listing performs, Amazon takes notice. And if it's good, really good, Amazon doesn't just reward you with more sales, it sends more shoppers your way for free. That's why I created this next video to show you exactly how to unlock free traffic on Amazon and let the algorithm do the heavy lifting. Click here and I'll walk you through it step by step and show you how easy it all can be.